up, man? You again. What are you reading? Men's Health. I know, I'm just kidding. How'd you stay in shape? You know, just eat right and train right. You tried calorie counting? No, none of that. Just try it. Hey, try it. Leave me alone. Oh, come on. I don't want to. Try it! Hi guys, welcome to another video, and this is about calorie counting.
City with my team, smoking, drinking, doing our own thing. Tell me what you into, what you bring. We gon' be a problem, cause a scene.
Okay, so what are calories? Now, as promised, I'm not going to get too technical. Calories are the makeup of all the products that you eat, and all will contain some form of calories. The big three being your macros, which consist of protein, carbohydrates and fats. Protein helps to sustain muscle and muscle growth. You got your carbs, which will be used for energy, etc. So everything has their own important little bit of work that they will do for your body. Now, why am I talking about calorie counting? Well, ultimately, your calories will fall into three different sections. You will either be in a calorie deficit. In this case, you will be losing weight. Maintenance, where you will maintain your weight, obviously. And then you shall have a calorific surplus, where you will be putting on weight. Depending on what your goal is, you will have set your calories at a certain point. So, how do you count calories? Well, there's loads of different calorie trackers out there. There's, ones where you input just the numbers from a numerical standpoint, you will just put them in. Other ones such as MyFitnessPal, which I'm going to endorse purely because it's the one I use. I found it the easiest to use, and it stores all the foods that you've eaten. It's really, really quick and easy, and it's quick and easy to change as well. Now, I'm not going to lie. When it comes to tracking calories, I nearly gave up so many times, and it's because, yes, constantly you are pulling out your phone or whatever device you're tracking it on and constantly updating it. However, if you do want to lose or gain or maintain weight, it's the easiest and most effective way to do it. I'm going to talk about a few little different ways of what people are using to lose weight at the minute, and we're going to use, for example, Slimming World. Slimming World, don't get me wrong, it's an absolutely fantastic way to go about it. It gets you eating right, it lowers the amount of calories you're probably taking in, but you don't actually count calories. How does it work? Well, they take it on the perception that you are eating poorly, so you'll be eating things with high sugars, high carb counts, high fat content. Because you're eating right, you get to eat a lot more, so you end up losing weight. However, you will get to a point with Slimming World where you'll be eating, for example, the pre-prepared meals that they do, and you could eat and eat and eat, and then you will go over your calorific maintenance level. So, what will happen then? You'll begin to gain fat. Again, not bashing Slimming World. I think it's absolutely fantastic, Slimming World, and I think it's a great way to start your fat loss journey. However, when you start to get a little bit more serious and you want to make sure that you look the best you can possibly be, you have to count the calories. Okay, so I guess the whole stigma around calorie counting, that is something that's quite hard, or it takes a lot of time, and I think that's why people shy away from it and tend to just follow Slimming World or another dietary plan which doesn't necessarily count calories, or they do so but in a slightly condensed or symptomatic format, a bit like Weight Watchers. However, again, if you want to hit your weight loss goals or you want to hit your muscle growth, then you have to be counting your calories. I think the problem as well is that there's so many different diets out there that don't conform to the normal kind of calorie counting that's why people shy away from it. They don't understand or they don't want to know, and because it's that little bit more complex initially, that they tend not to use it. Like I say, when I first started using MyFitnessPal, again, there's other ones out there, you know, feel free to try whichever one works best for you. However, when I first started using it, actually nearly did give up within the first couple of weeks, the first month, because I just thought, I can't keep doing this. The great thing about it is it starts to remember the foods that you eat. So not only does it remember what you've eaten, it'll start to put foods together as well. It realises that, for instance, when I have my porridge, I have milk with it, so it asks me if I want to combine the two, which is great. And that way then I can make sure that I'm hitting my calorie count and I'm hitting my macros as well. If, for instance, you are taking on too many fats, you know you can curb on the fats and then take in more protein if that is what you want to do. But the bottom line is that you could consume a hell of a lot of carbohydrates, but as long as you come in under your calories, you will lose weight. You might not feel great, but you will lose weight. So what do I suggest you do? I download a Calorie app, and I would make sure that you give yourself at least a month with it. Just commit the month and you will see a massive difference. You'll see a difference in the way you eat because you're watching what you eat a hell of a lot closer. Whereas if you're just following one of these other diets, chances are is that you'll think, well, I've eaten good all week, so now I can binge. Whereas if you're following your calories, some days I'll feel like, you know what, I've been on point today, yet I will come in way over on my calories, and I'll be thinking, well, how can that be? And then when you track through, you'll just find certain foods or certain products that you've had, and then they have just spiked your calories. So as well, especially if you're doing kind of meal prep or you want to plan your meals in advance, you can pretty much plan your whole week, then you know in your head exactly what you want. And just to go back to a previous video, for instance, say it is my cheat day. So what I can do is that on that day, I can fast up to dinner, have a small meal, and then go out for a meal at night, have drinks, and still come within my calories, which is brilliant. So please, if you haven't already done so, download a calorie counter. It will change your life, I promise you. You've just got to stick with it. I know they're a pain at first, but you will get results from it. And one thing I do want to touch on is, and it always comes around a few times a year, that calorie counters are inaccurate. And they are. However, they are inaccurate on the fact that they can only go off the information, one, that you put in, and two, obviously every kind of, processed bar, they'll all be ever so slightly different. If you do count your calories through a calorie counter, you're going to be a hell of a lot closer than you are now, because at the minute you're more than likely just guessing and saying that's healthy, I can eat it, or that's unhealthy, I can't eat that. So yes, they're not 100% accurate, but they're a hell of a lot more accurate than just guessing. So with all that being said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.
Try it.